'Twas the fall of 22. Economic uncertainty and rumors of war filled the pool halls, but a new rumor began to rise like the bubbles in my step 2. Rumors of gold and riches abound. Eventually, the rumors turned fact as the papers began to circulate stories of gold westward. Finances were tightening at the homestead, and work was becoming hard to come by. With winter knocking on the door and resources dwindling, I had nothing to lose. I began gathering my provisions and hitched up my old weary team of 50 MFing horses. Well, probably more like 30. I hitched up the weary old horses to an old wagon we had on the farm. Using the resources I had, I gathered some invasive honeysuckle to complete my project. The honeysuckle, being readily available and easy to bend, made the perfect building material for my covered wagon. Of course, man cannot take on any serious undertaking without first having a step 2. Now it was time for the canvas. Using my aunt's old rendezvous tent, I was sure to stay high and dry on my journey. Comfort was of utmost importance for a long journey like this. I had to pack very wisely, only bringing the things that I absolutely needed. Things like step 2s, a fan to sleep by, a cell phone with good internet service, a solar generating system so I could have electricity and all the comforts along the way. And, of course, tons of camera gear so I could make this video. Most importantly, I had to be ready to defend my cache of gear. And just like that, the provisions were all loaded, and it was time to say goodbye to my precious homestead. I was off and heading west for gold on the Oregon Trail. There were many campsites established along the way. The first night, I stopped at a beautiful clearing next to a field and a small pond. Being well rested and well refreshed was an integral part of my success on this journey. Camp needed to be defended from time to time, as thieves, robbers, and bandits were common along the trail. The nights were beautiful under the big open sky, but I never let that distract me from the dangers that were always waiting around each corner. On the first few days of the trip, I used fresh provisions from my garden. I had plenty of dry stores for later on. I was able to hunt and keep some fresh meat on hand at all times. Massive meals at the end of each day were just what I needed to keep morale high and to sleep like a baby. Mornings started early for me at the crack of noon. I needed to get on the trail to cover some ground. I packed just enough coffee to have 1 cup every day. And just like that, it was time to wake up the horses, button up the camp, and get back on the trail. After I headed across the windswept plains, I found myself deep in a coniferous forest. It was there that I found a trapper's camp, and I hit it off with the trappers staying there. I was able to trade them my labor for a hot meal and a warm, dry bunk. The trappers were the most generous people I'd ever met with food and libations.
Yes! Yes, yes!
The first trapper I met was a gentleman from the windy city of Chicago, and he made me a traditional Chicago-style deep dish pizza in the Dutch oven.
Alright, so I'm just gonna cut the pizza.
The trappers were very adept in their knife skills.
Oh, man. That's cutting nice. We did it. That's so good.
I stayed for 2 nights at the trappers' camp in order to give my team of horses a rest and give myself the refreshment that I needed. Due to the large quantity of meat procured by the trappers, eating like a king was fairly normal. On the second night, a gentleman from Philadelphia made me the world's largest Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
This is a lot of sandwich. Oh man.
The next morning we rode out a rainstorm, and I showed them some bushcraft skills. Then when the rain cleared, it was back to the wagon and back on the trail. As I made my way out of the forest and back across the plains, I found myself at an abandoned ghost town. After checking it out thoroughly, I decided the ghost town would provide adequate shelter for the night. This was a very bad idea. I've never been a big believer in ghosts, but this ghost town was most definitely haunted. And not just by any ghosts, by thieving ghosts, the worst kind.
Cottage cheese.
The next day, I quickly made it out of that joint.
See you later. Thanks for the cottage cheese.
With one less container of cottage cheese to my name, I headed back across the prairie. Over the course of the next few weeks, I found myself camping in many different situations. Fall was slowly turning to winter, and the elevation was getting higher as I approached the mountain ranges. Then one day it happened. I rounded a curve, and before my eyes were dark, deep forests, luscious rolling hills and fields. I had made it to the west. I quickly began construction on a simple yet comfortable homestead where I could stay while I searched for golden riches. I met some great friends there who helped me complete my cabin in very little time. My new homestead was truly as beautiful as a painting. It was then that I realized I don't need any gold or silver. I have the best family and the best friends a person could ever ask for, and that makes me truly the richest man alive.